And we are live. I am Harrison Fagan, hosting at least the beginning of the Lakers Outsiders podcast, because Anthony is suspended for his fiery Jerry West takes. In case you missed that, Anthony said that Ronnie Price would completely shut down Jerry West. So we're holding him off from doing intros for a little bit. Anthony, how are you doing in Twitter jail?
You know what? I'm still waiting for bail. I don't know if you saw John Oliver's thing on HBO this past weekend, but the bail system is pretty ridiculous. I'm just sitting here. I can't do anything.
Nobody. What the? Nobody's coming to bail you out, man. That was really professional. My YouTube just went off right while I was doing this. You know, we keep a big budget for this. And then that was really rude of me to not introduce our guest first, but we have James Wisdom from Hoops Critic, right? Yeah.
You can call me Snotty. You can call me James H. You can call me whatever. Yeah, I do some scribbling over at hoopscritic.com.
James is he's probably best known to Lakers fans for that whole Temecula episode over the winter. I know that's a sore subject. Has anyone threatened to fight you in Temecula, like, since the playoffs have started, over anything you've said over a player?
No, you got morons who will, I'll say something like, wow, Steph for 3. And somebody will be like, did you shoot that from Temecula? That's the only...
Their tourism department should really contact you. You guys could, get, a real good tie-in going.
Yeah.
Except nobody wants to go to Temecula.
You could be like, meet me in Temecula for a great vacation. They have wonderful restaurants and a great bar scene. And
be careful.
All right, so speaking of Steph Curry threes, we've all been watching the finals, and I guess we wanted to talk a little bit about that, right, guys? Did you have I don't really have a good question to segue us in here, but is there anything in particular that's been standing out to you about the finals or that you guys want to talk about?
I'll jump in real quick. Just a little
okay.
For myself. I wrote a pretty decent Game 3 recap over on Hoops Critic, aftermath after Game 3. And the main thing I see, the most amazing thing I see, is it's all about pace. The Warriors this year were one of the fastest paced team in the league. They like to get up and down the floor, beautiful basketball, and the Cavs they throw a monkey wrench in them, and somehow missing Kyrie. Somehow, one guy is dominating a team that had 2 All-Stars and was the best team in the league.
I can honestly, there are 2 ends of the spectrum. I can't think of a better finals performance than what I've seen from James, and I can't think of a worse MVP finals performance than what I've seen from Steph Curry. Like, the 2 have somehow gone, simultaneously happen, and that's how we find ourselves where we are right now, right?
Well, Steph Curry's in the finals, and Dirk Nowitzki got knocked out in the first round in 2000.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, in the finals. I mean, MVP in the finals. I can't think of a worse MVP in the finals performance.
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good point. And it's crazy because if you look at Steph's overall numbers, he's not terrible. I think right now, I'll look him up here in a second. I think right now he's at right around, I don't know, like 24, 6 and 6, something like that. And the 3-point shooting is off the cliff. He's only shooting 32% from 3, which is unconscionable for Steph Curry. But so yeah, it's almost like LeBron in 2011. He was really bad that year. I know he won MVP, but the fact that he's playing and he's not playing bad, but he's not being the impact guy that we're used to. But yeah, you make a good point.
So Harrison, would you take are you willing to take that leap and say Dellavedova has locked down Steph Curry? I'm not willing to go there.
No, not at all. I think the Cavaliers' defense as a whole has definitely given Steph Curry some problems. I don't know if you guys read Mike Prada's breakdown over at SB Nation today, but he had a really good film breakdown with screenshots and stuff of just lots of instances in Game 3 where the Cavaliers, they're just they're having what he called coordinated breakdowns, and they're basically just leaving Draymond Green, they're leaving Andre Iguodala, they're leaving these guys that they're like, okay, if you can beat us, then so be it. But we're gonna go double team Steph Curry. We're gonna double team him off every pick and roll, trap him hard, and make him give up the ball, and just trust that Draymond's not going to beat us with floaters and 3-pointers. I mean, I think that's pretty much what it's come down to.
Right.
I think that it's their defense as a whole, and it's like a really good defensive game plan. I don't think that Dellavedova is like the best defender in NBA history, and he's just like single-handedly shutting down Steph Curry.
Well, I mean, everything from Australia kills people, so I guess Dellavedova was sent here to kill an MVP.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as a related note, I want y'all to both be honest with me. Okay, you ready?
Go for it.
Okay.
You guys read my write up for today?
Honestly, I didn't even see you plug it. I've been working all day. You want me to read it? I can read it on air. Do you want me to read it on air?
No.
I apologize.
No, I don't care. I'm not that good anyway. But what you're asking Dellavedova is, I'm going to give him credit. We know in the NBA, with the lack of hand-checking rules, no point guard can stop any other elite. No point guard can stop an elite point guard. And it takes team defense to play point guard defense. But Dellavedova is the tip of that spear, and more than just guarding him when he has the ball, when he's off ball, Dellavedova is doing a great job of staying in his jersey and not being peeled off by any of those little back screens, or Steph Curry will do one of those things where he'll do screen and he's turning and back cutting. He does a lot of off ball motion when he doesn't have the ball. A lot of the motion, the action they have with the ball is set to distract from what Steph Curry's doing. So they're trying to get Steph Curry an open shot. Dellavedova's job not getting sucked into that and not getting peeled off by one of those back screens, or him running through elevator. So I'm going to give him a lot of credit. He's probably guarding Steph Curry as best we've seen, and of course it's a team thing too. Everybody else is on a string with him, but I'm going to give him credit for it. He's not locking him down to great players.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to say that I was giving him no credit. He's done a good job. He's been so active. Like, is it bad that I wasn't even surprised that he had to go to the hospital for dehydration last night? Like that. I mean, he's giving crazy effort, and he's definitely but he deserves a lot of the credit. I'm not willing to say that he's become the Steph Curry stopper.
Well, guess what? I'm going to say it. If both you guys aren't going to say it, I'm going to want to say it. Dellavedova should give himself a chance, win or lose, after this series, and wear it on his shoulder and have Steph Curry's name on it and be like, I took this series. That's why I think that. I'll go.
Dellavedova is locking down Steph Curry. Like, he's doing the opposite to Steph Curry is what Steph Curry does to Riley Curry in those press conferences. I'm willing to go there.
Wow.
So all right. I'll ask you this then, James. Do you see any kind of offensive adjustment that Kerr and the rest of the Warriors could make? Because for me, what I saw was as soon as Steph Curry started just going by Dellavedova without the purpose of scoring but more facilitating, I thought they kind of found something there. And not to mention David Lee somehow rescuing the Warriors. Huh?
I think David Lee was as a chaos factor. No one game planned for him. They had no idea what he was going to do. We haven't seen David Lee play since he was in the Knicks. But on their radar, and I think he was able to come in and make an impact, which is pretty cool for him. Now he had a little film on him to be a little different. I am not going to say that the Warriors figured anything out. Every game is its own entity, and once you're at the end of that game, you have all the coach take all the game tape. They're going to analyze it. They're going to make adjustments. So the only way we'll know if they really figured anything out, I say watch the first 6 minutes of Game 4, and we see if Cleveland's up by 5 or 10, then it's going to be a long day for the Warriors. If the Warriors can come out and actually initiate some offense early, my main adjustment, I think, their offense is keyed so much by their defense. They're allowing LeBron James to be comfortable, and our good friend at J. Dave Dubin, I need to look up his that name. He wrote an article today, and he brought the fact that 41% of the Cavs' possessions right now, they're shooting until there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock. That is just grinding it down. And they're doing a good job of picking up the inbound, Curry on the inbound, so they can't just pass in. It's only a second or two, right? It's knocked them off the pivot a little bit, but it's enough where they're just grinding them down. So I would say they need to pressure LeBron James. They need to scrap what they're doing now. Go ahead.
I was watching that back and forth you were having with Haralabob Bulgaris, who is one of the best Twitter follows you can have out there for all 700 of you who follow me. But I liked your point on doubling LeBron, and then I also liked his, I don't know if it was a counter or something that would kind of speak to what you're talking about, but when he said that LeBron can't bring the ball up the court without an armbar, I like that. That's a great point to make. What I'd like to see happen is kind of switch up the pressure. At sometimes, double him right away out there, or have somebody pressure him all the way up the court, and then as he turns with that armbar to get to turn back to the middle, send somebody there to then make him think about it. But yeah, LeBron looks way too comfortable, right, Harrison?
Yeah, it's just it's become a pretty simple equation for him. He's making the right play almost every time, and he's taking a lot of shots, but it's because the guys out there aren't really going to be able to create their own. They're almost better off if he just puts it up on the backboard and hopes that Mozgov or Thompson can go get it, because they've been able to have success doing that.
Yeah. All right, rate this series on a scale of 1 to 10, James. I mean, it hasn't been pretty, but it's been extremely entertaining.
I'm going to give it a strong 8.27 for the surprise factor. I was pretty bummed out when I saw Kyrie go down. I just thought it was over. I thought, all right, well, we might see 5 or 6 games, but I didn't think we'd see what we're seeing right now. Go ahead.
I predicted a sweep. I mean, especially when Kyrie went down, I predicted a sweep, and I can't possibly be more happy to be so embarrassingly wrong. I tweeted that out last night. It's been so much fun to watch this. I mean, all 3 games have come down to the final minute, and all 3 games have shown us something different. Yeah. Harrison, where does this rank in terms of, I guess, I mean, it's kind of tough to recall this off the top of your head, but of the last 5 finals, where would this rank for you?
Oh, man, you're really putting me on the spot. It's definitely better than last year. I don't know if it's better. I mean, we can't know yet if it's better than Spurs Heat the first go-round when it went 7 games. That was a really great finals. It's better than OKC Heat. And then I think right now it's probably right around Mavs Heat, the 2011, right? Yeah.
Just for surprise factor, right? But it was in the
I mean, the games are really competitive, and it's like you said, we all thought it was over, especially when Kyrie went down. But I mean, the Cavs are just really taking it to them. I don't think there's another player in the league that could do what LeBron's doing right now.
I don't know if there's another player in NBA history who could do what LeBron's doing right now. Jordan never won a series like this, right, James?
I mean, I'd argue Jerry West, but you'd disagree with me.
You motherfucker. But I said it last night, and I caught a whole bunch of heat when I said it. But I outright said LeBron, greater sign MJ. I went there. This is we've never seen anything like this ever. Right?
Yeah, see, I'm gonna have to begrudgingly agree with a caveat. Just because MJ never had to try to do something like this doesn't mean he necessarily couldn't have done like this. Because don't forget, in MJ in his prime, yeah, they were getting knocked out in the first, second round because he didn't have talent. Well, Bron, let's say Kyrie was missing all season, and Love was missing all season. They would have been the number 2 seed.
No.
Right? Do we agree?
They might not have even made the playoffs.
Thank you. So, even as good as he's playing, let's say even to make the seed, I don't know if they're going to beat anybody in the first 2 rounds. So it's a little different, right? I will say, hey, it's not Bron's fault. Mike never had to do this. So yes, and what I wrote today, if either one of you jerks had read it, you would have seen. I combined. He's like a juxtaposition of maybe 4 or 5 different guys. He's averaging more assists than Jason Kidd did in the finals. In his second finals, He's having more rebounds than Hakeem did in his first final against.
And 40. He's averaging 40.
Yeah.
He's averaging just as many points as MJ did, and his best finals, 31. And then we talk about how efficient he's been. Now he turned to a volume shooter, but he's still getting his assists. It's 6 shots a game, and he's still getting you 9 assists a game. It's unbelievable what he's doing. And
I think. No, go finish. Go ahead.
We thought he'd wear down like this. We thought that Golden State has Draymond, they got Iggy, they got Clay, they got Harrison Barnes. They're gonna rotate on. They're just trying to wear him down. He's wearing them down. He's just busting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like I pulled up your recap here, and it's a perfect quote there, right, where it says everybody has a plan until they get knocked in the mouth. You would think Draymond on paper is a great way to guard him, and then when Draymond wears him down, Iguodala is another cerebral, athletic defender to throw onto LeBron. And then when that's not working out and Tristan Thompson isn't in the game, now you can zone him because you don't have to worry about having to rebound against us or rebound with the zone. You would think that all that would come together and say, all right, Bron, let's see what you really got. Well, we're finding out what LeBron really has, and it's incredible.
It's a lot.
I've been sitting back here just. It's that scene in the Hulk or in the Avengers where the Hulk just somehow lives through everything what they throw at him and just keeps on getting stronger. It's stupid.
No, I think Monte Ellis is sitting at home watching on TV and saying that guy has it all.
All right, so awkward segue. I have all the segues, I guess, but
yeah,
we have with us obviously a Celtics fan. We are Lakers fans. We both had this conversation. The original formation of this podcast was the Team Tank podcast, so you know where I stand on this conversation. But James, I'm going to go ahead and give you a minute. I can give you 5 minutes. Go ahead and unleash your greatest Dan Le Batard rant on all of those Celtics fans who are excited to get swept by this Cavaliers team that we're watching in the finals.
I'm trying to be a better person these days. I don't know how long you guys followed me. Pretty rowdy and rambunctious. So I'm going to respectfully disagree with anybody who was saying this is there's no real difference between the number 10 pick and the 16 pick. What kind of shit are you talking, man? Hey, we need experience. Bro, 85% of this team won't be here in 3 years. We got Marcus Smart, Kelly Olynyk. God, all we want, man. I'm not gonna curse on your show. I don't know if you curse on your show.
No, go for it. Have at it.
You're allowed.
This is year 2 of a fucking deep rebuild. You cleared the goddamn debts for a reason. You did the shit to get cap space and then to get high draft picks. Great. We got Marcus Smart last year. I like the kid. Didn't get a great high draft pick. Whatever. This year was our year. We got all this talent in the fucking draft, and what the fuck do? We go get Isaiah goddamn Thomas in February or whatever the fuck it was, and now what the fuck we do? Make the goddamn player. And then you had idiots on Twitter telling me what a great feeling it is. Are you fucking high? We just won a championship in 2008. We were in the finals against fucking the Lakers in, 2010, right?
Yep.
What are you getting a goddamn first-round ouster for? We got our head stomped in the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you have to tell me you're happy and you're excited and you want maybe we can get somebody. Look, Kawhi Leonard went 15, 16. We can get somebody great 16. Shut the fuck up. You smarted yourself. Great. Isaiah Thomas was a fucking asset. You gave up picks and a little money to get him. Well, motherfucker, the point was get even better assets this year to sign him as a free agent in a year and a half. Who gives a shit? You're so far away from contending. You don't need a goddamn guy come off the bench to give you 60 points a night. Because who the fuck cares? Because you fucking stink. Yes, we fucking stink.
Well, all right. So just for some perspective here, and
bullshit.
So just for some perspective here, for those, and remember, I was getting killed. You're not an actual Laker fan. You're not a real Laker fan. No true fan can root against their team. Well, I rooted against them, and we're going to wind up with Jahlil Okafor. So have some fun there, guys. But But just for some
No, but that was
perspective
because
here.
good karma. That was because we tried to win games. You gotta let nature decide.
But James, I'm not trying to twist the knife here right now, but at 16, Sports Illustrated in their mock draft that released today has you guys getting Trey Lyles, right? Who's a pretty good player. He might be okay. He might whatever. But at number 10, the Miami Heat are winding up with Stanley Johnson, who going into this season was a consensus top 5 pick and might be one of the best two-way players in the draft. That's such a huge difference. And again, I'm not trying to rub it in too much for you, but but let's look at it from the Lakers' perspective, right? So if the Lakers would have stuck there at number 4, where the Knicks currently reside, and unfortunately the odds did not favor the Knicks because they're the Knicks and they shouldn't get nice things. But right there at number 4, you have Justice Winslow, who again might be really good, looked phenomenal in the tournament, for Duke. But Harrison, who would you rather have, Justice Winslow or Jahlil Okafor / Karl Anthony Towns?
I think you know my answer to that one.
Well, you gotta say the name you made up though.
Oh, I would definitely rather have Jakarl Towns, but I did not even make that up. I'm pretty sure that was actually Tom Fear. That was our last podcast guest. But
Gotcha.
So I can't take credit for that. But it was I'm much happier having them than I would have been having Winslow, who I'm not even that sure about, to be honest.
Justice got his Winslow, but
well, they kept their Winslow for Justice.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, where do you guys go from here then, James? I mean, what are you looking at now? I mean, do you mentioned potentially had you guys not made that move for Isaiah Thomas and had a higher draft pick, maybe wound up at number 10, you could have packaged that up and moved up. Do you still think that's a viable option? Man, the pain on your face. The pain on your face right now, James. I'm sorry.
And then, you know what? Hold on, I'm not even finished yet. Because last year we picked fucking James Young at fucking 17. All right? Fucking bum. I'm sorry. He's just so young, though. I mean, the NBA landscape is littered with 6'7" guys who were athletes and who could shoot. And Roswell Butler. Is he Roswell Butler? Who knows? I don't care. I didn't want him. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, we're doing our own mock over Hoops Critic. It's going to be the worst one you probably ever saw. And somehow Kelly Oubre was still available at 16. I wouldn't be mad at that. I would be pissed off if we got Kaminsky, whatever his name is.
I don't think he'll be available at that point. He's way too hyped.
He's not getting past Phil.
He's gonna get pick number 4. Oh, that'd be great. But all right. So what's your 2 cents on this then? We'll kind of shift your attention away from your poor Boston Celtics. This probably isn't helping, but between the two between the two bigs that the Lakers could potentially wind up with, who's your favorite between Jahlil Okafor and Karl Anthony Towns?
It's funny because I'm not really a college guy. I don't watch a lot of college ball. But right around January, I started looking at Draft Express videos. So I started watching the highlights from guys. I went and looked up the top, drafted. I started watching the highlights of them. And I saw, number 1 Jahlil Okafor, and he can play. I looked at Karl Anthony Towns, and automatically I said, he's a better player. He's a better NBA prospect. For the simple fact that his kind of athleticism, his kind of speed, the way he moves, he's a shot blocker, he's a shot. And yeah, I'm not going to be one of those people who say the post game is dead, because it's not. It's still. Draymond Green got in the post a few times. You still want a big man to throw it inside and get you some buckets and dimes. You're not going to build an offense around a guy who can get 30 touches in the post. This is not how NBA is built.
Right,
So,
and go ahead, finish.
Yep, I think he would definitely feel out better with Julius Randle. Because Julius Randle's more of a slasher and can post up a little bit, but he could. Yeah, I think he's the better profile prospect. But you can't go. You guys are gonna be awesome with either one, so you guys go to hell.
Well, I'll say this about Okafor. I was watching that Golden State game last night, and for both teams, there were moments where I just thought to myself, man, it'd be really nice to have a post player right now who you could just dump the ball into and know you're going to get a good shot, right? And like while neither team really has that, I mean, Harrison, correct me if I'm wrong here, but doesn't LeBron, when he goes into the post, that's an automatically great shot you're getting there. Either he's going to go to his baby hook that's been unstoppable, or they're going to have to double and he's going to find the open guy. And I feel like either Towns or Okafor fill that need there that both teams would really like to have, right, Harrison?
Yeah, it's like the post game isn't dead. Like anybody who says that is stupid. It's just like, or they're not paying enough attention. You need to have spacing around it. The problem is not that nobody knows how to post up anymore or anything. It's just the defenses are a lot smarter. The rules have changed so that you can help a lot more easily, and so you have to be able to space the floor and make them pay if they double on your post guy.
Right.
So like with LeBron, he can do that. He can get a great shot if you play him one-on-one in the post, or if you double him, he's going to find a shooter. He's going to find somebody that can kick it to a shooter when you rotate.
All right, so you hear that, Jahlil Okafor or Karl Anthony Towns, because I'm sure you're watching, but you just need to be LeBron James, and the Lakers will be perfectly fine. Like, no pressure.
Hey, can I hop in real quick about this whole post-game thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. You're absolutely right. It's a luxury to be able to throw the ball into, a 7-footer, and he hits jump hooks all day. But you don't get to the finals if that's what your offense is. So you guys are kind of proving it. You have to space the floor. That's going to be the first thing. And I think the post game is more like, it's not dead, but it went from being the featured player in the 80s and 90s, being the headliner actor. Now it's almost a character actor. It's a great supporting role player.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yeah,
Miami didn't post up. Didn't have a post player. Yeah, LeBron flashes a post every now and then. He wasn't posting up 15 times a game.
No.
He just wasn't. So
no, if you want to post, you have to be able to space the floor is the issue. And so that was not exactly how they played.
Right. And
they got penetration and they got like easy shots different ways off of drives and off of like cuts and slashing and things like that.
I think you're also finding out here too, and the thing I'm worried about with the Lakers is that if they do wind up getting Okafor, which it really looks like they're going to do, I mean, some executives, I guess, reportedly said that they're locked in on Okafor. But you have Randall, who's not a three-point shooter. We have an unknown, small forward. You have Kobe, who's a terrible catch-and-shoot player, and Clarkson, who's not very good in catch-and-shoot. So that's something that they'll really have to fix. I imagine if they get Jahlil Okafor, Danny Green now jumps to the top of their priority list or list of priorities in the offseason to fill a need. You got to.
Well, if Mitch Kupchak
Danny
drafts
Green.
a Duke guy, he's got to get a North Carolina guy to even it out.
Yeah, that's a good point. But no, you need a three-point shooter, and I think the best three-point shooter on the market this year is going to be Danny Green, right?
He's up there. I think DeMar Carroll's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I don't know where their percentages are like in relation to each other, but I'd be happy with either of those guys.
Hey, speaking of free agent, James, do you think there's anything to read into with LaMarcus Aldridge selling his Portland home and now reportedly visiting the Boston area?
I'll say this. This is a pipe dream, but let's say LaMarcus Aldridge does leave Portland and decides to sign with the Celtics. I will take back every nasty thing I just said.
No, now I don't want that to happen because that was some straight fire.
So, hey, it's wishful thinking, but somebody else was telling me that last time he was up for free agency, he put his house, not the same house, I guess. He put a house up for sale, and then he stayed in Portland. Maybe it's a ploy by him, a little power trip. But yeah, I don't have any feeling. This is the thing. I don't know if you guys follow Jacob Noble. He's over with me, Hoop Creek hoop critic also. He says that thing about players don't want to play in Boston myth. Our money was always tied up with bad contracts, and now that we have cap space, we're going to see some good signings. But I mean, until it happens, it's not a myth. It's an absolute fact. No one has ever just willingly said, "Hey, I'm a free agent. I can go where I want. I'm going to Boston." It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and talked to Ray Allen and said, "All right, we can do this," and he went there, and it worked. I'm always going to love them for it. But Boston's still considered by, I think, the general public and it's his place. And young black athletes don't want to go there. Not just that, but it's cold in the winters. It's other places. It's just not. So we'll see.
Right. That aspect of it, the whole racist kind of culture and background is, I don't know if they'll ever be able to look that down. But I don't know if you watched the Bill Russell documentary they had there, and that stuff was really ugly. And you have to imagine, young black athletes and the people that are advising them are saying that went on at some point, and we're not sure that the people that your sponsorships and stuff will be able to look past that. So, right. All right. So I guess speaking of histories and racist histories, Jerry West was really good back in the NBA when black people weren't very prevalent. So I drew a lot of ire, and I stand by everything that I said, that I don't think Jerry West could play in today's NBA. I'm not willing to take that leap. I think that whole era doesn't translate very well. Now, James, are you willing to go there with me, or do you have a caveat? What are you thinking?
I mean, so here's machine. You go back and bring him just as he was, fresh off of selling cars in the off season here. Is that what you're talking about? Or Jerry West was, born and raised in this time frame, and he was a 19-year-old rookie going to college here, and he had the benefits of modern nutrition, modern medicine, modern training. Which one are we talking about?
Well, the question I posed last podcast that
is your answer different depending on those two things?
Well, I
don't think so.
No, mine's very. Or yours is different.
No, I'm not. I don't think so. No, because just the way he moved doesn't like people compared him to he could be Steve Nash. Steve Nash was insanely laterally quick, right, with the basketball, not on defense. And then they were like, well, you could see him being like Steph Curry. Steph Curry is one of the most elusive people I've ever seen. And you go back and you watch clips of Jerry West, and it's a lot of hesitation moves. It's not very much activity with his left hand, and it's a lot of mid-range contested jumpers, which we're finding out are the worst shot on a basketball court.
This is where your flawed logic lies, okay? This is what everybody back then did. So it's not like he couldn't do what people do today. He was never taught because it wasn't prevalent. It just wasn't what was. So my thing, let's say Jerry West was in 1985. Holy crap, that's too. Let's say he's born in 1990, right? He was just turning. So he'd be like 20. Wow, he'd be 25 right now.
Here's James and I realizing we're both old.
Where you 20-year-old right now, and I'm like, fine. So he's 95, right? Right now he's 20 years old. That means he came up in all the same camps. He came up in all the training programs, and all right. So relatively, he was obviously an above average athlete of the average person back in fucking Stone Ages when he was a kid, right? I'm saying, look, if you look at the numbers, the average person now is we're taller, we're heavier. We're just bigger than they were even in the mid-1950s. So that stands to reason he'd be relatively, from what he was, bigger, faster than he would be in the 50s. And so, I mean, he's obviously a good enough athlete where he was a professional athlete back then. I think it translates. I'm not saying he'd be the logo. Well, he could be an NBA player. He definitely could be.
Now, the issue is, and Harrison, I'll let you jump in here too. All right, answer this for me, because what I find unfair is, just as people call it unfair that I say he couldn't adjust to today's game, I don't know if it's necessarily fair. I think that door swings both ways, where I don't know if it's fair to say he absolutely would adjust. right? And if you go somewhere in the middle there, if his game just evolves to somewhere in the middle between those 2 points, I don't know if that's an NBA player. That's kind of the point that I'm getting to, Harrison. I don't think I made that point last show.
Yeah, I don't think the thing is I don't know that my answer is necessarily different based on if it's like Jerry West growing up in today's day and age, coming up in all the youth camps, all that stuff, and like learning how to play basketball like we play it today, or if he just stepped straight out of a time machine and like was expected to put on a Lakers uniform and suit up tonight. I think that the degree of success that he would have is definitely different. But I think that he could play in today's NBA regardless.
He'd get destroyed. You bring Jerry West fresh off of freaking being a CPA back then with only one.
I'm not saying he would be great, but he could be a bench player in the NBA at the very least.
They'll see him do that herky-jerky bullshit. Say, go fucking grab a towel. You're our water boy. Absolute dog.
I can't. I mean, I can't follow you, Harrison, with that he'd be fine if he were able to evolve. Him stepping off of a time machine, I mean,
his release was so quick on his shot. He could get shots coming off of screens.
But
he wouldn't be able to defend anybody regardless because he was 6'1", 6'2". Like defending point guards in today's NBA, like James was saying, it's a team effort. He wouldn't be able to defend anyone regardless. I think that he could get shots. I don't think that he would be a great player stepping in off that time machine. That's not what I'm saying. But I think he could play.
You know what else shoots fast? Jimmer. Jimmer shot fast. Jimmer's a piece of shit.
He played in the NBA.
Yeah.
Not for long.
So
He's still in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He was with the Pelicans this year.
Just contractually, he's in the NBA. But like if his
they willingly signed him.
Yeah, for the hype.
They signed him because they thought. Come on, they signed him because they thought that he was going to space the floor around Anthony Davis, and
he didn't get any minutes.
That's all the hype from college,
yeah.
right? All right. So guess what?
Huh?
Hey, I said that's all the hype from Jimmer in college. So this little white guy walks in and says, "Hey, I'm Jerry West," and nobody knows who the hell he is, and they watch him dribble around with only his right hand and kind of.
They'd know who Jerry West was.
No, they wouldn't. No, not if he just stepped off of a time machine and was drafted as is. No.
He's just.
How would they not like?
No. Because then you just sign him for his name. So that's not fair either. He comes in and says, "Hey, my name is Wary Jest. I'm a fucking guy from Podunk, Idaho."
He does a State Farm twin. He puts on like the fake mustache and.
He couldn't. He
see him freaking do one-handed set shots and get him stuffed in his face by Russell Westbrook. They say, "All right, you're the fuck out of here." There's no way in hell. Because again, dude,
we're gonna have to agree to disagree. I think he could absolutely play.
He could not. All right. So we'll move on. But James, all right. So James, just to kind of encapsulate the entire conversation, you're saying if he's allowed to evolve, if he's allowed to, I mean, you're giving him the credit to go so far as he's going to even grow. But if he's allowed to evolve, you say Jerry West, the prospect, would he get drafted above D'Angelo Russell or Emmanuel Mudiay? If he was a member of the draft, he was 18, 19 years old right now, would you take him? Not the name. You agree with me on the name, but would you take him, the player, over what Emmanuel Mudiay or what D'Angelo Russell potentially represent?
An absolute ridiculous question to ask me because I have no idea what kind of player Jerry was. I just think he's a player with all the benefits of the. Hey, let's be real. I think they're doing the hormones in our food and stuff and the meat. That's Ronnie's being 6'2" guy. He'd be 6'4", solid athlete.
All right. I wasn't willing to give him the evolution of handles. You're giving him the evolution of the human body with it, but no, that's a good point though. I'll take it.
What we put in our kids, they're growing faster. They're growing. You guys don't. You think I'm just making that up?
No. I mean, there's a reason we are bigger than we were 50 years ago. We on average. Like Mickey Mantle would be a shortstop right now, or a second baseman.
Yeah,
No,
so
that's a legitimate thing.
Well, there was that whole insane NBA Reddit thing of LeBron is like a product of like he was created by the guy. Did either of you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
That crazy NBA Reddit post. Some guy just went on this like 2-page rant on why he theorized that LeBron was created by the government like in a tube and like implanted into Gloria James's womb to be like a super soldier as a testing for a super soldier thing.
let's go
It was
on
one of the
talk.
greatest Reddit posts I've ever read.
No.
It was insane.
That's craziness. I'm not. Yeah, that's nuts. But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We're gonna bring it back to we're gonna bring this thing full circle. Talk about the NBA Finals moving forward. James, I'm gonna give you the last word. So I'm gonna start with Harrison here. Harrison, do you see Golden State recuperating and taking what everybody thought was their rightful place atop the NBA, or do you think LeBron is just that good where they can't answer for that?
No, I think they're still going to win the series.
Okay. 6 or 7?
At this point, I'd probably say 7 because I don't know that I don't think they're going to win the next 3 games in a row after what we've seen. I think Cleveland could get one more, but I just think that they're going to start to. I think Golden State wins tomorrow. And I think that they probably win in Golden State, and then Cleveland probably sends it back to Golden State in Game 6. Cleveland wins Game 6, sends it back to Golden State, and then the Warriors win Game 7. I think would probably be my prediction. I just think that, like, they barely lost in Game 2. Steph Curry played probably the worst game he could have played. I think Draymond Green's going to start to figure some stuff out. I think the Warriors are going to watch a lot of tape, the coaching staff, and they're going to start to figure out like why LeBron has been so effective, why the Cavs have been so effective on offense, and they're going to make some adjustments. And I still think the Warriors win it.
And then I'll go next to you, James, so that you actually do have the final word. I thought, all right, maybe Golden State in 7, but I'm not sure I want to bet against LeBron James in a one-game setting to win an NBA Finals. So I think either the Warriors do win the next 3 games, or the Cavs wind up winning this series, and LeBron, gets to go home with the greatest NBA Finals performance that we'll ever see, or we have ever seen. So I hope not to be a complete jackass. So I guess I'm hoping for the Golden State Warriors to win in 6. But man, it's tough. It's at the point where I'm going to flip a coin, and then however it lands, 3 out of the next 4 times, that's how I'm going to decide with this. James, what are you thinking? How does the rest of the series play out?
I think that game, man, it's still boggling my mind that down 2-1 team with LeBron James.
I mean, if I could cut you off really quickly, when we first talked about having our show tonight, I said we're going to have plenty to talk about because LeBron's going to be down 3-0. I don't know if you remember that in the DMs. And here we are with they're up 2-1. That's crazy to me.
Hey, any Cavs fans listening, I told him at the time he was foolish and he was wrong. American.
That's nothing new for Anthony.
Yeah, no, I'm married. I get told that when I wake up in the morning.
So I'll say this. This is why I still it's going to be long by the end of the 4. If there's too much momentum going the other way, and LeBron James will be able to smell it, and he's going to find that little extra notch. They lose game 4, that's it. Yeah. And we're going to start forwarding on the narrative for Steph Curry because MVP comes to the finals and gets beat by one guy and a bunch of role players. People are going to start to whispering, I don't care what they like Steph Curry. And, guess what? Barkley's going to sit there with his chest puffed out and say, I see jump shooting teams can't win. LeBron James went.
That's going to be the worst part if they lose.
I'm going to go with a full season's worth of data, and I'm going to go with what we've seen. I think, like you said, Steve Kerr will find a way to course correct. I think after them, being down 2-1 will really kick a board up these guys' asses. I think Draymond will at least play harder, and he's going to take the shot at least. I think he might snap out of it. Steph Curry's going to need better performances, and I think we're going to get some of them. I think they win this game. They win the next game, and once they go up a game, I don't know, 6 or 7, but I still got to pick them in the series for the simple fact that if otherwise LeBron, I'm not gonna predict that we see something as historic as LeBron James doing what he's gonna do. But if he does it, I'm not gonna be surprised, right? He's already. So I'm gonna stick with my original prediction. They're gonna win it in Golden State in 6.
6. Now, would you agree with the premise I made about being a little nervous about having LeBron in a one-game setting to win an NBA final in Game 7?
I don't like assigning like superhuman things to LeBron James, even though he's a superhuman that we've seen in a while. Hey, right now, what is he right now in the finals? What's his record?
Oh, he has a below 500 record, I believe, in the finals, right?
2-3.
So I mean,
Or 3. Yeah.
He can lose. It's not like he's invincible. And it's that he's in full control of his game. So yes, I will I got to lean towards what you're saying. If it comes down to a Game 7, even in Golden State, the way he can just control a game, what are you going to do? I mean, it's hard to bet against that situation. Unless we see Golden State hit that switch and find another gear and actually start playing their game. They play their game the next 2 games. Even if it goes to 7, I still would pick them over the Cavs. Because the Cavs have such a fit right now that all it takes is a bad LeBron game. Dellavedova twisted ankle. It's over. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, can I on the Dellavedova thing? I mean, I think some of us might be overlooking he had to get fluids injected at the hospital last night because he got dehydration from playing that game. Like, you got to think, after not playing nearly this many minutes and like at this level of intensity for the whole season, he's going to start to wear down. Like, how much does Cleveland's lack of depth now start to hurt them as the series continues? I think that if Golden State can keep pushing it, I think that's where their depth is really going to help.
Well, I think too, like in terms of Dellavedova breaking down, dude's a rugby player, man. Like, it wouldn't shock me at all if Cleveland's training staff just had dirt in a pile over there, so that anytime he gets hurt, they just say, pass me that dirt, mate, and then he just like rubs it on his leg, and then he just goes back in the game. But that's a good point. I honestly have been legitimately mind-boggled by LeBron's performance. I mean,
he may start to wear down too. Like, he had to take, a 20-game break at the beginning of the season because he was tired?
Right. I mean, yeah. But I don't think he lets that bother him in the finals. I mean, personally.
We'll see if it allows it. We'll see if it's up to him. I mean, his body may just say otherwise. We'll have to see.
Yeah. I think no matter what, though, this will be one of the most interesting finals that we'll have seen in a long time. And then, because I said that, now Golden State's going to rip off 3 straight 20-point wins, and everything I say has to be wrong. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. James, I really appreciate you jumping on tonight. I hope it was almost therapeutic that you got to, say those things about Boston. I hope I didn't rub, how great the Lakers' front court is going to be for the next decade plus, because of how much better we are at tanking than you guys. I hope I didn't rub that in your face too much. And I hope you want to jump on, sometime in the future. You're always welcome.
I appreciate it, man. I'm sorry. Hey, guys, all the fans of his podcast, you probably have thousands and thousands. I don't know how many people follow it. I kind of flew off a couple times. I never do it on purpose. I literally forget. So I'll do better. I promise.
No, we have roughly 600 Twitter followers, so thousands and thousands. I'm going to go ahead and ride with that. But no, we are the show we are because of the guests we somehow happen to get. James, you're an example. All the other guys that we happen to get, and then shows that it's just us talking amongst ourselves, I apologize ahead of time to fans for those shows. Harrison, thanks for getting this thing going. I'm going to try and break out of Twitter jail. Go ahead and shut us down, Harrison.
All right, that'll do it, guys. Thanks for coming on.